Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Lamborghini Egoista in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. As we can see in that clip right there, it really is a bit of a jet. So currently this car has an Unleashed event and its own multiplayer season going on, so I figured it would be a good time to test it again. This time I have it at a rank of 3792 with 4 stars and all upgrades and import parts applied. So in this first race, we're actually facing a rank 4010 Egoista. I believe that is 5 stars, so 1 star above mine. This car does go up to 6 stars, and I'll be interested to see if I actually need to upgrade it even more, or start up even more, I should say, when the Turzo event comes, or if I even can. To be honest, they will probably have a Lamborghini pack, which has all the Lamborghinis in it and stuff, and that'll be the way to start up this car. So I've considered starting up this car more now, at least trying to 5-star it, but I think I might save my tokens and just see what happens with the Turzo event, which hopefully should be coming soon. I have no news as to when it is coming, but there have been the pop-ups in the game about it, so I can only expect that it'll be pretty soon. So after we shockwave up this ramp here and then do this cool barrel here that I've actually gotten pretty good at doing, that Egoista at 5-star just falls way behind and we come in first. We've also beat 3 Aventadors, a Dodge Viper GTS, and a Ferrari LaFerrari. So guys, I have a bit of news about the new track that is going to be coming to Asphalt 9. So earlier today, I believe, the App Store Twitter account released a video, it was about 7 or 8 seconds long, showing a new Aventador J, I believe it is, driving on the new track. And in that track, you could see a volcano was the main thing. And if you take the 4 locations that have been discovered so far from the riddles, yes, there have been 4, and then you draw lines between opposite ones, it forms an X. And wouldn't you know it, the middle of the X is in the Caribbean, and Jamaica, one of the islands in the Caribbean, has a volcano on it. And there have been previous leaks for many months ago, probably like October of last year, of a 3D model of a new track, and it looked like it was an island of some kind. And not only that, but a while back in Asphalt Extreme, they had asked people whether they wanted to see one track or the other, and they just showed pictures of them, but one of them looked extremely like what turned out to be Scotland in Asphalt 9, and the other one had, wouldn't you know it, volcanoes. For the longest time, people were thinking that this was going to be Hawaii, because Hawaii is the famous island that has volcanoes on it. But no, there are some in the Caribbean too, and so it looks like our new location is going to be there. Perhaps I'll make a video about all this new stuff dedicated to the new location. I'm not entirely sure that. So there we accidentally land on that Trion Nemesis, and we actually managed to pull away from this other Trion Nemesis throughout the race, the one that's right behind us, and we come in first place against 2 Trions, which is not something that you'd normally expect in an Egoista, especially since Scotland is a track that, well, maybe not be the best for the Trions, but it's pretty good since there are some pretty long straightaways. And 3 Aventadors. Those seem to be a pretty common car this season. So in this race, we have a 5-star FXXK and a 5-star Egoista. Now, that almighty Abcar guy or whatever his name is in the FXXK, for some reason before tried to, ram me to the side a lot, but he hasn't done it for a while, so yay! The Egoista is quite an easy and fun car to drive, especially at 4 stars. Even at 2 stars, when I tested it before, it was pretty good, but now its nitro efficiency is so good, its acceleration is so good. Honestly, the only really bad thing about it is it's sort of mediocre top speed. I mean, 232, that's slower than a lot of the higher end A-class cars. I mean, the Apollo N can go 241 miles per hour, for example. But the Egoista's real power comes from being able to maintain pretty much its highest speed pretty much all of the time because of its good acceleration and nitro. Even if you have a bit of nitro going around a corner, well, you're pretty much going to be able to maintain your top speed most of the time. The only real bad thing about this car that I can really think of besides the top speed is the fact that its handling may feel a little stiff compared to some other cars. It's definitely not a bouncy car, it's more of the predictable kind, so if that's what you want, this is a good car for you. And in this race, we come in first, ahead of that 5-star FXXK who was ahead of that 5-star Egoista. Little weird. So next we have a bit of a comeback race against a 4-star Egoista and what I believe is a 6-star one. We've also got some cars like the Ford GT, LaFerrari, and Viper GTS. So this is one of those races where things did not exactly go well. You know, sometimes you have good races like I did earlier where things work out fine, you don't get glitches or weird knockdowns and stuff like that. In this race, everything bad was happening. This Viper pushed me and slowed me down and then ran me from behind with Shockwave and knocked me down. How come whenever I hit somebody with Shockwave, I don't get knocked down, but then I come up and I touch that guy with 360'd and I get knocked down again? a day in the life of Furum while multiplayer racing. This is why it takes me so long to get to Legends League every season. As you guys have probably seen in my videos, I've learned to go left here. I used to go right a lot, but yeah, going left is definitely faster. Thankfully, that guy did not manage to knock me down when he shockwave into me before. I'm not exactly sure why sometimes cars passing you going way faster than you with shockwave don't knock you down. But then them just kind of touching you can sometimes knock you down. The whole thing seems very inconsistent. There's probably like little things in the code that have something to do with it. Like people have told me that, for example, some of the supposedly unfair mid-air collisions have to do with a car's tire touching you when you're going under them, and therefore it counts as them landing on you. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to us, but that's kind of how the code sees it, because they see you as being underneath the other car, if that makes sense, and if that's true, I'm not entirely sure, but in any case, we're now into third place. So overall, I'd say that the Lamborghini Egoista is definitely one of my favorite cars to drive in multiplayer. Being very predictable and mostly stable, as I said earlier, makes it so you don't have to worry too much about random glitches so much as like randomly flipping over upon landing or stuff like that. Of course, you have to worry about glitches with knockdowns and stuff like that, but that is a different matter that really can happen to you in any car. But yeah, the map glitches normally don't happen in this car, and it's just easy to get around corners, easy to stay in your speed, and overall, it's just a pleasant car to drive. Even at lower stars, it is. Now, this is one of the more interesting races that I played this season. After getting knocked down a whole bunch and then having to go this weird way after not going high enough on the barrel roll, yeah, there's a way you can do that route to the left so much better than I just did by shockwaving up the barrel roll, I believe, and then wall riding around the turn back there. But yeah, I never really go that way. I always go to the right no matter what car I'm in, so I didn't really know it. But anyways, we managed to come back into second position, quite far ahead of everybody else, except for that first place guy, who was in a higher ranked Egoista, I believe, so that kind of makes sense. But in this race, you can see that don't always give up if you get knocked down, especially if you've got a car that you know is better than most of the other cars in the race. At least try to go for it. Now, if you get to the end and you're still behind, well, then you can quit, maybe, if you have a free disconnect. Oh yeah, and I've been made aware that some people still don't have free disconnects. Now, the thing is, one free disconnect every 24 hours is an intentional feature in the game. Like, Gameloft themselves said this. So I'm not entirely sure why some people still don't have it. I'm very sorry for you if you don't, but thankfully I do, and I have taken advantage of it at some points. Most of you guys have probably by now seen my April Fool's video, in which basically I transitioned from Asphalt 9 into Forza. So a couple years ago I did Asphalt 8 into Minecraft, and then last year I did Asphalt 8 into Fortnite. Then yeah, this seems to be my trend for April Fools. I doubt I'll get anybody next year. If I even do that next year, I guess we will see what happens at that point. But anyways, yes, I do plan to make Forza videos on my channel. Somebody named Get Wrecked has very kindly given me some help toward the beginning, getting some good cars and, you know, just tutoring me of how to get better, different things, showing me how to do stuff. So a big shout out to him for that. And probably in a lot of my Forza videos, I'll shout out him as well. Because, I mean, really, he has helped me so much, and I would not be where I am in Forza today if it weren't for him. So again, thank you. So we're coming up to the end of the first lap in this race here. However, somebody leaves the track not long before the lap 2 sign, and this other guy still was quite far ahead. I didn't really think I'd be able to catch him, but then at some point around here, he wrecks on something. He may have wrecked on, well, honestly, I don't even know what, but I missed the barrel roll on purpose because I didn't want to get a weird half barrel or something like that. It's best to play it safe sometimes, especially if you're in first, which we do come in this case, and we managed to beat 2 other Egoistas at 4 stars, as well as a LaFerrari and a Sin R1. Now, I have managed to 4-star my LaFerrari, and maybe I'll make a video about that at some time, but the thing is, I've already made 2 videos about it, and so I'd rather prioritize cars that I haven't made any videos about yet, or that I've only made 1 video about. Some people have been wondering, why haven't I made a video about the Vencer Sarth yet? Well, there's no super good reason, I guess, for that, other than just, well, I've had other videos that I've prioritized over it, but I do plan to make a video about it at some time. I have it at 4 stars, and it's pretty good. Definitely the best car in C-Class. Although my 4-star Acura I like better than my 4-star Vencer, but the 5-star Vencer is definitely better than the 4-star Acura. So now it's time for my general review about this car, the Egoista, as the Italians pronounce it. I think the American pronunciation is more like Egoista, but I don't know. Anyways, this car, however you pronounce it, is good in almost all aspects. The handling is definitely better at 4 stars than at 2 stars, but yeah, the really only bad thing about it is its low top speed, which honestly, if you can keep at, you're gonna do better than a lot of cars that have better top speed, but that can't maintain it as well. For example, something like the Ford GT is faster than this car by 6 miles per hour, but it's so much worse because it has basically really bad everything else. So we come in first here. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 9, Asphalt 8, and Forza Horizon 4 content. And we reached Legend League, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!